The Honourable Member for St. Anne Parkland.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, or Madam Chair, I guess, as it were, since we're in Committee of the Whole. I really appreciate the amendment being brought forward. So I'm kind of new here in the sense of understanding where the acts go, regulations, etc. But what I'm seeing is a couple things. Even though the Honourable Member was citing that now they're in agreement with the bill, only if we put this amendment forth, all of a sudden everything they've said for the last couple of days just gets washed away, and this is the way to do it. I would propose that even though the minister may have mentioned these dollars and cents, that it is more suited in the actual regulations, given that the structures you may be building, given the timelines, and given the durations of these projects. I also find it very rich that the opposition is talking about infrastructure projects and the need for them, and unduly putting burdens on taxpayers. Well, the burdens that were put on the taxpayers was the fact that they couldn't have this infrastructure, a lot of it in these places, simply because the resources that we have at our disposal aren't there anymore with the wealth generation, etc. Folks, when will it sink in? You ran us into the darn ground. We're hovering somewhere between Great Depression and major recession. We got a ton of infrastructure spend right now. Sure, capital is cheap, and we're trying to deploy it where we can most appropriately. And I might look over at my constituency in Highway 60 as an example. Folks in my constituency out in Atchison, that is right on the border of Edmonton, or moreover, Edmonton's right on the border of us, major logistics corridor in that area. Because of what you did in that area, in that region, of shutting down prematurely those coal mines, 750 people driven out, County and Parkland lost 25% of their revenues coming through. One of the things they worked their tails off on, Madam Chair, was to come back and build up that area, to build up the Atchison industrial park, to try to make up for those shortfalls. The biggest thing that they needed was the widening and expansion of Highway 60 and that overpass. The Atchison business community and Parkland County itself had to bring it to the former government of the day and lobby the heck out of it. And what did they do before the election? Splashed up this big announcement that they were doing it. But, Madam Chair, again, big announcement, they never tagged any money to it in the budget. What a great surprise to find out. So our minister went and worked his back end off. I lobbied the heck out of him, and everyone else did too, and they saw the reasonableness of this. The last group, when they were talking about capital projects, there was no way of telling what was real and what was not, because they didn't have a way of evaluating them. The fact that Bill 43 is going to allow us some latitude in areas where they're asking for this growth, where they literally want this to happen to put in tolls, is a good thing. That's what I'm understanding by this amendment. They finally understood what we've been talking about here for the last, I don't know, week. But again, to the amendment itself, this belongs in regulation, in my opinion. So I would urge members of the Assembly to vote against this amendment. I do really like the speeches that the member from Beverly Clairview talks about, because I believe he's the only one on that side of the bench that really understands capitalism, forward thinking, and business. And I've got it on good faith and good understanding that he holds his own caucus on entrepreneurship, and he might be the only member on that side that actually does it. So again, when we're talking about these logistics, I talked about rail corridors and utility corridors. Not one single member in the House voted with me in favour of that this spring. But when I'm talking to folks up the Northern Transportation Advocacy Bureau up in Northern Alberta, and we're talking about corridors, they're excited about it. And the other proposals come up is, what bridges can we build? What other roads can we tack onto it? For heaven's sake, give us a chance. If we can even put some P3 type projects or for industry in place, we'll do that. And the members, they're heckling, madam. I held my tongue with them with all the outlandish remarks they've been making forever, and they're heckling now. Because again, this is how important it is to them, the rest of the province. So they might sit there when the camera's on them, and they might turn on, like the member from Highlands Norwood is fantastic at this. She'll sit there and heckle all day long when we're actually speaking, and then get up and look like the, anyway, look all prim and proper when they're on camera for their soundbite. And that's what I find the most disingenuous thing about this place.